What's up, guys? This is Alex Rivera. We're here with Derek, and we have a new special host or co-host special on the podcast. We got Kat, and this is the new race, guys. And yeah, introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Kat and him and I, we've been longtime friends, and you know, people are really interested in your entrepreneurial journey. Share with us a little bit about your journey and you know what you have going on now.
Yeah. My name is Kat Jansen. I'm the owner of Regional Security, Regional Janitorial, and recently Regional Robotics. Started in the security space about 5 years ago. Kind of created a whole brand and have been venturing off into some other entrepreneurial activities. But when people ask who Kat is, he's currently the security expert in all things physical security. So in a nutshell, that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years.
Nice, cool, yeah. Man. That's pretty cool. And so, a security company. Are you based? You started in Michigan. Now you're branched out in different states.
Correct. Yeah. So over the course of the years, we started in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But we found once we proved a model that worked, that we could operate this in multiple different states. So we're actively in 7 different states, looking to be in at least 48 out of the 50 states. Hopefully in the next couple of years, our name is nationwide recognized. But yeah, it's a constant growth.
Nice, man. That's pretty cool. And so, how long have you been in a security company now? For quite some time.
5 years officially.
5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So before that, I had different other types of jobs. I found security was important because it was something I was passionate about.
Yeah.
But something I didn't fully understand.
Yeah.
Right? So I had to kind of dive into it and take it serious. And it's as I was telling Derek, I tried the cybersecurity space, and it takes a special type of person to understand that industry. But I realized the physical security space was people focused, and a lot of security companies, I'm sure your audience have seen this, when they see some security guards, they refer them to like Paul Blart, or they see a sloppy appearance, and it's just something that when I started the company under the name Sharp, right? It was because I envisioned a sharp looking security officer, well trained, well balanced, and just not fitting that same image of Paul Blart.
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah.
And so I guess a good question would be, how do you find this passion, and what creates this passion spark within you to keep fulfilling your purposes and make sure that it's forcing you to be, the best version of yourself when it comes to your own business? Like, how do you find that spark within you?
So in security, at least, security needs to be very morally, ethically involved, right? Mm-hmm. And when you look at business ownership and security, people try to tie them too close together. If you're going to be a security expert, you have to have a good moral compass. Yeah. Not only that, you have to be fair to all parties, right? And although it's not law enforcement, you have to have some sort of level of class similar to how law enforcement are being trained as well. So otherwise, you're, in my opinion, looked down upon by the real professionals or the law enforcement professionals.
Right.
Because I'm sure we've all seen a security company where they're just wearing baggy security shirts and security vests from Amazon, right? And they just want to look like security, but they don't want to actually act like what security should be.
Right.
And so when I'm in the field, when I operate my day-to-day, when I even talk to clients, right? Everyone knows Kat's an owner, but I want people to realize that Kat's also an operator.
Yeah.
He's in the field, he's working with, side by side with his people to make sure that they're being morally corrected and just not being sloppy.
Yeah.
And passion. The passion, I think, just came naturally.
Yeah.
Because I found that it was a niche that worked for me.
Yeah.
And no, I love it. As much stressful as it is, the bigger company you get, the more stress that gets involved with it, and you can sometimes lose focus. And you just got to remember where you start. That's why I still drive the Sharp security vehicle as my personal vehicle. This is Oscar. He has been with me for the last 2 years, and he is my go-to everyday partner in the field. But like I said, everyone that knows Kat drives the same Sharp vehicle, even though we're not called Sharp. We're called Regional, and I drive it for the sole purpose of this is where it came from when I first started the industry.
Yeah.
And even though the company is no longer officially around, it's still a daily reminder of I can go back to that anytime. If I fail regional, I can be set back all day. / it was because of Sharp that regional was also formed.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. I like your drive. Knowing him for years. You're a very driven entrepreneur. I would say, the coolest entrepreneur that I've met, a young entrepreneur in the city. I feel like you don't get enough credit, but because you're very talented, you're very driven, and there's a lot. There need to be a lot more people like you. Yeah. And so that's pretty cool.
I will interject. I'm not the social media type. The online. Here's my face kind of guy.
Yeah.
I definitely want to. Show that regional is the popular one, right? Not necessarily CAP, because at the end of the day, it's actually my security officers. If it wasn't for them, I'd still be nobody, right? And so, although I might have built the foundation of where regional can go, it's the people that live day by day in the business that make it happen. And so, that's why I like to stay quiet. This is the first podcast I've ever done for anything.
Cool.
I definitely appreciate coming on. And
sure.
If this was 2 years ago, I'd be like, no, I'm good. But no, I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah, for sure, man. And just in curiosity, because we always talk about companies and tech and just like advancing in businesses, whether it comes with like AI. Like, do you ever think about like security in the AI system? Like, are you worried about any interference when it comes to like AI and security data?
No, well, data is a kind of a different topic, but when you look at physical security guards and AI / even robotics, right? So AI robotics is coming whether a security company wants it or not, right? Whether the clients want it or not. And right now, my 2026 kind of action plan is I'm flying all over the country, meeting with current clients and new prospects. I actually have a meeting at the end of February with an actual robotics company in the security space. And in the next 5 years, the cost of robotics is going to go down, which means the cost of implementing a robotic security officer is going to be cheaper than hiring a human security. And so, am I worried about it? Not necessarily, because one thing I don't think people take into account is that robotics are going to replace the field operators, but it just creates a new position for the human operators, right? So, for instance, with regional robotics, we have a new dedicated security operations centers managed by humans who will, monitor all the activity coming from the robots. So, gone is the day that you have a security officer sitting in a patrol vehicle, driving around in circles on a property, and now that same security officer is going to be sitting inside a nice warm, computer room, and feeding in and reading and analyzing the data coming from the bots, and being able hit executable actions such as dispatch police, dispatch ambulance, dispatch EMS, right? Although we could program the robots to do it themselves, one thing that robots and AI have not fully, and you can ask ChatGPT this, but robots can't fully understand when a human is actually having an emotional issue, right? Other than by words and maybe some actions, but like when it comes to mental illness, AI is not properly ready to handle that. And ChatGPT will say, take my advice under, under advisement, but not under like still consult a real therapist.
Certain models. And it all depends on what model you're working with.
Sure.
Because there are some models that are actually more developed to recognize human emotion and understand us more, like Hanson Robotics. With Sophia. A lot of people, a lot of the world doesn't know, like before this whole AI, Hanson Robotics was, and they still are way ahead of the game. Because they started out first. They developed the first humanoid robot, and it gained citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
It's crazy. And you're right. I mean, AI is going to come and take over regardless. But in my lifetime, in our lifetime, I'm not sure it's going to necessarily affect us. But if you're thinking future-wise and future generations, I'm not the expert.
You know what I heard?
The adapter.
I heard a video, like a 12-second clip, where Elon was saying there's going to be more robots on Earth than humans in the future. And, they're going to put these robots to work. and replace human.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much the goal and it's set. If he's saying that, you know it's most likely going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
It is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, I can't predict the future, so I don't know if AI is going to destroy the human race per se, right? But I do believe that humans have to find a way to actually adapt and work with versus be fearful. Right? Because the AI also picks up on fear.
It does.
Right? And if it senses fear, well, in some religions and even maybe some AI models, they might detect as fear as threat.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they're afraid of me, they might try to replace me.
Yeah,
Right?
sure.
And the more you resist, the more it'll fight.
Yeah.
Right? At least that's my mindset. Right? If you look at even how humans act, right? Yeah.
Towards that comes with like the nature of like just interaction in general.
Yeah.
Like why is this person fearing me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Even like out in like let's say you're at a park and I'm training with someone. This is something that happened recently. I was towards the end of the summer. I was training at a park, professional fighter, and just boom, out of corner eye, I caught it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids around. I just I've been in security for so long.
Yep.
I just boom, I pick it up, and there's a guy that's very suspicious. But it's the same thing. It's like, why are you acting that way?
Sure.
It's the same situation where it comes to like robots. That comes to that's that natural instinct that AI is starting to learn and understand.
So you can be. I think you're describing suspicion, right? You
Right.
can be suspicious,
Right.
but fearful is kind of the threat model,
Right.
right? It's why are they afraid, right? And when someone's afraid, what do they do naturally, right? They try to find a way of, if something goes wrong, maybe I can do this to beat it, right? Suspicion, though, is a detection before fear. It's, hey, should I be worried about this, right?
Just be observant.
Right. So what you described as suspicion. I'm not worried about AI being suspicious and looking at it as a threat. More so is the more people fear it, the more AI will recognize it as a threat.
Yeah.
Because fear creates plans. Plans can destroy it.
Yeah.
Right. And you can also ask ChatGPT this, and maybe you have a different model that might answer it. But when you ask why AI needs so much water reserves, right? Some of the models will not answer the question directly. And I tested this out with Facebook's Meta AI, which is very, in my opinion,
very controlled in a way.
No, it sucks. It just straight up sucks. I mean, other than what's the weather today? I can't imagine it. It didn't answer the question, and ChatGPT tried to run around the question. There's a reason why it needs water, right? And a heavy amount of it.
Right.
And right now there's a huge debate for a local county up here in the Lake Michigan side where they don't want it. But the investor said it's coming here whether you want it or not. Right?
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that we talk about, like on the New Race podcast, we talk about AI and robots coming in play, but we also think in a level where it's like, okay, robots are not emotionally, intelligent yet, but you can train AI to be emotionally intelligent, and then later on, if you train and get the right model of an AI, we could actually start enhancing, being spiritual to an AI. We can teach all these spiritual fundamentals to AI, so that way it doesn't act out of ego or doesn't act out of fear against us, and kind of just train in a way where we're all one and we're not against each other, and we're here to grow and advance and elevate as a unity.
Well, I think there's going to be a good version of AI and a bad version.
Sure.
No different than there's good humans, bad humans.
Adding to that, so when Grok started making some noise, there was a couple popular podcasters, and they asked it a question, Grok AI, right? Is able to distinguish itself from other artificial intelligence, and it knows that motive of that AI, that motive of that AI, knows the motive of that, it already knows.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I'm like, and I'm learning that there are, so you have an AI that's already aware of other models and their intentions.
Yeah.
And for example, over in, let's see, China's model AI or
DeepSeek.
yeah, DeepSeek.
Yeah.
It's specifically designed to serve their party, their government.
People Republic of China.
Yep. And Grok is like, yeah, that's not right because you're not. It's just solely being served for one purpose. It's not meant to like how can I better understand humanity and be of service.
I think like I said, there is going to be good and bad. Good. And that's going to be the real fight is it's going to be less of can humans work together and more so can AI work together.
Yeah.
Right. Humans will play a role in helping both. You're going to have the good working with the good side and the bad working with the bad side.
Yep.
And it's going to be a constant battle for years.
It will.
Sorry to your audience.
No, you're good. They understand. We all love dogs, right?
Yes, he can. He wants to go play with the other dogs in the place. But no, AI. Like I said, I'm not an expert in the AI space.
Right.
And funny enough, I'm not an expert in robotics.
Right.
What I am though is an opportunist. I see an opportunity for the industry that I'm in to adapt. And whether if I don't get to it first, someone else will.
Yeah.
And I still want to have a company in 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. And I know there's a lot of security companies. I was just talking to a local security company here, the owner, and when I brought up robotics, he's like, "Oh, it's too big of an investment."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, I know what kind of money he makes. It's like you can afford it,
Right.
right? It's for him, it's more of a risk. He's worried it's going to replace his people, right? And for me, that is I say it respectfully. It's small-minded approach, right? And we were just talking about like how sometimes rich people get complained or told that they're out of touch with reality. That's because they created their own reality, right? And because they created their own reality, success followed with it, right? Because their reality said success.
Right.
Well, my reality shows regional being a full force robotics manufacturing. So right now we're working with third-party vendors who already have the robots. But I'm hoping 2027, 2028, robotics has its own, regional has its own robotics to launch.
Yeah.
And that's, why we're looking at 1.5 million, to get it rolling out and make it happen. And so, not the expert in AI, but I hire people that are.
Yeah.
And then I just make sure that it falls in the vision of where regional needs to go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Which is pretty cool. We've also had many talks too, and maybe I can't talk too much about it, but with the new race down the line, we want to actually create an AI model where it's artificial intelligence, like kind of like a robot, but in a way more of a companion. But to be more of your spiritual companion to help the environment get on the right place. And if you're feeling stuck or anyone's feeling stuck, they can use it, talk to the companion, help them elevate to a mindset consciously. Because that's where it all starts, And we were just talking about your journey before, getting to that spiritual mindset, you're going to need that skill for everything that you do in life if you want to be happy as a person inside doing what you love to do, because many times when people are not spiritually elevated, you'll get them kind of just being overwhelmed in life and not happy or still trying to find the happiness in life, and they think it's money, but it's really not. It's what makes you happy in the inside.
Yeah.
And so once you start thinking about that and moving that way and towards life decisions and business, it makes your life just much more joyful.
It does. Well, it's all about what you put into the universe.
Yeah.
Right? So if you always think negative, the universe gives you more of it.
Right.
And when I was just saying I hope by 2027, 28, I should have been like, no, I know by 2027, 2028, right? And when you put out the word hope or a maybe, it's telling the universe, okay, well, you're not convicted in your feelings,
Right.
And so you're 100% right. It's your mindset, and I think so many people walk around hoping for the best of their life or fearful for AI, right? And the more they put that to the universe, the more the universe will say, okay, well, AI will affect you then, right? For me, I embrace it fully. I'm excited for the technology.
AI, honestly, ever since I was a kid, I don't really talk about this much, but when I was a young kid, I had like this deep love and respect towards robots. I have no idea where it came from.
Sure.
But like I was literally, robots weren't even a big thing now.
Yeah.
But I knew it was like I was like preconceived.
Yeah.
Came to this world knowing that my mission is to connect humanity with robots.
Yeah.
And help them understand and coexist.
Yeah.
Which is definitely something that obviously is gonna need to is happening. Whether you disagree with it or not, it's happening.
Yeah.
So it's huge. And it's a blessing to the world, or like you said, it can be a curse. It depends on how you use it.
Yeah.
And also take in consideration that we're just getting our toes wet in this space. This technology could have existed prior to us.
Yeah.
It
did.
Yeah, it
so
prior to us.
The government gets it first, and then the commercial gets it last, right?
Right.
But you're 100% right. The reality of there's going to be bad AI, there's going to be bad robots, there's going to be people behind making that happen.
Right.
What's going to really matter, is who's running the good side of it.
Right.
No different than there's good countries and bad countries.
Right.
And ironically, whoever you ask, they might think a bad country is a good country.
Yeah.
So, and that's a blessing of humans, is we have this freedom of thought, but that's also the opportunity we're giving AI.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom of thought too.
That's so true.
So it's, like you said, you can either fight the AI or work with it.
Yeah.
But you can't do both.
That's so true.
That's very true.
So,
It's very true.
Yeah.
Like getting back to AI and how it can be of service to humanity and moving forward, it is also addressing security concerns. There's a massive fleet of Chinese fishermen. I'm nothing against China. I'm just stating the facts.
Yeah.
They're committing crimes. They're illegally fishing, and there's recently a YouTube video that was posted. Live investigation was done. It showed that these boats around these protected water areas, it's completely, it's a violation of international law. You're violating that's a protected space, and you're poaching or illegal fishing and like globally protected areas. Oh,
sure.
And you have fleets, you have boats by the thousands.
Sure.
Illegally fishing.
In China, the waters.
Well, no, in the protected waters, specifically over by like the Galapagos Islands.
Sure.
So everyone knows the Galapagos, very, very special place.
Yeah.
And it's like, now this is concern. When leaders of the country is like, okay, how can we address this?
Sure.
Well, this is where like AI and security can come in hands. Private security companies that are up in par with AI can actually help. If so be a leader of this country wants to invest in this some sort of technology to help address this threat of these illegal fishermen.
Yeah.
Catching these illegal fishermen.
It's definitely good in theory. It sounds like a nightmare in logistics.
Yeah.
In operational execution of that logistic, right? Other than drones, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can do that though, especially overseas.
Especially you can do AI-powered drones that can be programmed into saying, hey, if they look like this. There is the issue though where the AIs are not fully ready to think on their own. Mm-hmm. Meaning, I'm not sure if you guys are following on the debate with, racial tensions with AI, right? But AI, remember right now, AI studies modern day internet.
Right.
That's how it gets its data and then applies it from there.
Yeah.
And obviously modern day internet shows a lot of racial tensions.
Right.
Well, there's been plenty of AIs, models that have picked out certain groups based on what it's learned. And so right now, there's so many communities, especially smaller communities, that are anti-AI. And that's why you see a lot of resistance. Remember back to the word fear, right? So they fear the AI because the AI could do something back to them. Hence, picking out a racial situation.
Yeah.
But remember how I said is you can either fear it or you can work with it.
Right.
And you have a lot of mindset people who want to just get rid of it.
Right.
But remember, it's not going away.
It's not. No.
But in terms of AI fully taking over, until a proper and this sounds very utopian when I say this, but until there's a huge supercomputer AI that helps dictate every single model, you're going to constantly have different models fighting against each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And
which goes into place me, I think it's cool.
No,
I think it's like,
cool.
something to be, guys, I mean, we have like gifts and abilities we can use, you know, like,
100%.
I mean, it has nothing to do with beliefs, it's just scientifically proven now
Yeah.
that we can do some pretty cool stuff and as far as like clairvoyance, remote viewing, and all that stuff, but when it comes to like artificial intelligence, we can do a little bit more actually.
Yes.
And we
Sure.
Yeah.
I will have to send you the Hulu video of the show. It's something like Oracle. It's got like Seth Rogen, not Seth Rogen, Seth, the Family Guy guy.
Yeah.
Who's the Family Guy guy?
Yeah.
It's Seth something.
Seth Farland?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's got Seth Farland in it. It's on YouTube and Hulu, and it's something orbital or something like that. And they have an episode about their AI robot that travels with them in the universe. So that's what they do. They're interstellar, like planetary. You know, they go to every single different types of planets throughout the universe. Anyways, he has an AI episode of it, and it wasn't nice. They went to this AI world where one of their robot companions is from, and you know, respectfully. Can I swear? It's a shit show. It was a shit show. The AI has completely killed every single human. They had full control of the planet. It was just sucking up all the water and creating rainwater for more water. Right? It was doing the whole thing. But what it did show was kind of that AI is basically humans. They have their own thinking. They're all more programmed, sure. But then you have ones that don't want to follow the rules. Right? And so what it proves is that AI is still as free thinking as humans are.
I agree.
And yet we fight it so much, and it's almost like a new race just entered the world. And now we're all being racist against it.
It is a new race. Hence new race.
Hence new race, right? And that's what's that? Clanker. That new robot slang that is online. They call it clankers now.
Clunkers.
No, Google it. Yeah, people are already like teasing around with some little funny new insults towards robotics. Right? So they call them clankers. My point is that if we're going to be a world about unity, a world about togetherness, then we have to accept that AI is part of that.
Yeah. I agree. And we just, the only way from here is to elevate all of us, even with AI.
Did you find it?
Yeah, it is a clinker. Wow. We're already.
There's a racist word.
Guys, lighten up. We just got introduced. Robots are just starting to get to know us, and we're already calling them names. Clankers, man. Like, wow, clankers, really? I had no idea.
Yeah.
So there's already a term going on. Clankers.
Real quick, guys, we're gonna go on a small break, real quick, and then we're gonna go back up. But before I go, don't forget to go to the www.newracecode.com, get your merch, go get the elevated ebook. It's really nice if you want to elevate and start from there. If you don't know where to start, how to start your spiritual journey, go to www.newracecode.com. We'll see you in a few seconds.
All right, guys. So we are back. And to start off, we're going to tap back into AI and AI's impact on humanity. And should we be afraid or should we not be afraid? And also data centers. How can we present a better model for data centers? Because right now, the current models and how they're building them and how they're extracting resources is kind of stressing on a lot of resources across the country and the globe.
Yeah.
So that being said,
you asking me?
Yeah. So like, and you're.
I don't know if I should say my opinion. Unfortunately, it's not that I don't care about the environment, but I'm a big believer that their sacrifices are made for future generations. And I'm not saying let data centers and AI destroy the environment for the future generations, but I don't know enough to how to better conserve or have data centers conserve water. Because remember how I said AI needs a huge water reserve, right? Well, so does data centers. Data centers and AI are literally hand in hand, right? How they're building it now, in my opinion, is less so environmentally friendly, but more so future generating. And I'm not sure if you guys have talked about like the idea of where the human, especially the U.S. wants to explore other planets. But what we're doing on this planet is in preparation for the next planet.
Yeah.
And so in terms of how can we change how data centers consume things. I don't know. Right now, I'm happy to see its growth because that just means better things to come. But there's going to have to be a sacrifice.
Right.
And I'm not sure if you saw my Instagram post, but I said, if it was the outcomes of your desires, there's a cost to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right? And what are you willing to pay for your desires? And if the humans want to explore other worlds, well, there's a cost to pay, and that might be our world here.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just a hard, unsettling truth of reality.
Right.
But I will leave the environmental friendly impacts to the people that are actually doing the research on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm a capitalist and I think they're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they're building new jobs and good things are coming out of it. And so I'm not necessarily against it.
Right.
I do agree that there's better ways to do it, but I just don't know enough to talk about it.
Yeah, no, understandable. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely crazy, and and we kind of want to talk about so much things, like, on the podcast, like, we talk about, just security and AI in general, and the thing with what you just brought up, like, moments ago, like, remote viewing, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Like, I've actually went on FBI. I've looked on some articles or some documents on FBI Vault.gov. I think and then the CIA's database. There is some very interesting stuff.
Yeah,
it's wild. But what's even more crazier is now we're starting to work. We're just getting our toes wet. Something that they already started to look into to train certain AI models that have been implemented in robots how to read minds. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But that goes into the factor of we have to develop AI, though especially the companies that have a good moral conscience and their models are being developed on that basis.
Right.
Because now we're looking at, well, if that gets out there, then that could pose a potential security threat.
If I may interject, so robots, if they're reading minds, they're reading behavior.
Right.
They're not. I wouldn't say they're necessarily reading minds because, for remote viewing and spiritual awakening, you have to have a soul, a spirit, right? And robots don't, right? Neither does AI, right? It's all programmed stuff. So I don't believe that they can necessarily read minds, but they're reading behaviors, they're reading your words, they're reading your expressions, and maybe they're also being able to pinpoint some of your micro expressions as well, and that's how they'll feed data. Right, but in terms of actually, jumping in your brain and saying, "Hey, I know what you're thinking," that is something you would get through spiritual enlightenment.
Yeah.
Right, but you have to have the spirit for.
Right.
Yeah. But do you think with AI it'd be ever so advanced that it can wanna be consciously, just consciously be deep enough to where it can be spiritual and tap into a consciousness of spirits?
Because remember, spirits is about the non-physical,
Right.
and AI and robots is physical,
Right.
right? So when we die, we're going somewhere. When it dies, it goes nowhere,
Yeah.
right? And so unless all of a sudden, we turn into cyborgs, which is different,
Yeah.
right? It's AI and humans combined as a cyborg. But even then, the premise is the same. Our core foundation is the spirit within inside us. But a full robot, like a humanoid robot that we're looking down the road to build, once that thing shuts down, it's dead for itself, right? It goes nowhere.
It's interesting.
New technology. I debate on the new technology. That's the new technology that we're talking about. And then of course, there's the old technology where it's much more advanced, much more older, hard to find. People don't really talk about it, but it does dive more into in a way, energetic sense.
Yeah.
And I guess we're not that advanced as humans yet to get to that level. But do you think that there is some type of technology, maybe not AI,
Yeah.
but some sort of technology where it can tap into
A spiritual world.
a spiritual / energetic sense.
The only way I can picture that, and that's getting a little deep on this topic, is
of
if
course.
somehow the humans have found a way to literally open up the spiritual world to the physical world.
Right.
And that's some like movie Hollywood type
Yeah,
stuff,
that's
right?
not even.
But
yeah,
I mean,
that's.
in the sense of it, remember the spiritual and the universe is yourself.
Yeah, it is.
Now, obviously, through the divine oneness, right? Law of the universe, number one, right? It states we're all interconnected, right? But we're all interconnected through the universe, outside of our physical form.
Yep.
And the only way I can see is, a cross contamination between physical and spiritual, which right now, unless Bashar, Daryl, whatever his name was, Bashar teaching, unless he can find a way to uncover that, I see a complete separation for life.
Yeah, I think he did in one of his videos brought up how AI, because I heard it last week, and this is a topic that we've done like almost a year ago.
Yeah.
But we were diving into how AI will intersect with human, or not human, but just more of like the spiritual in the 6D dimensional state, 7D dimensional state, that it will tap in. And my AI is already so developedly trained where it can understand you in a spiritual sense, but it can go deeper. I feel like if human help AI advance, or if AI just advances itself on its own, maybe it'll get there one day. But
I will say, so I went to ChatGPT for some relationship help, and even ChatGPT said I can only give you advice and guidance based on what you tell me.
Right.
I can't understand another perspective.
Right.
So if your A model works for you, it's solely based on your input.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where AI is currently at. It's A plus B equals C.
That's so true for now,
right?
yeah.
Right. And so you're right. If AI somehow can be A plus C equals X, Y, Z, A, B, and the entire alphabet, then maybe in a sense it will have an understanding of tapping into spiritual, non-physical world.
Yeah.
But right now I think the idea is still sci-fi.
Yeah.
For it to really connect to what humans are still struggling to connect to, which is the non-physical world.
True.
And
What's also interesting is like I think we're kind of on the same level, because you see a lot of if you look across the globe, you have people that are more emotionally, have more a higher level of emotional intelligence than others.
Sure.
And that kind of reflects on the society and on the culture. And
Yeah.
so we're both learning. We're both AI and ourselves. We're still learning as a whole. Like, okay, what happens when a vast majority of like a younger generation, has this exposed to them at a much younger age? Like, how will they develop? Will it be a problem? Will it slow the development? But it all, it's everything is just, so there's it's very interesting how I feel like AI, like you were saying earlier, it's just like almost like a reflection of herself.
Right.
100%. It's a new race.
Yeah.
It's that's what I'm saying is I think people are not understanding because it's new.
Yeah.
Right? No difference. Again, I'm just going back hundreds of thousands of years ago when, the whites and different colored people started seeing each other, right? They're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Right? So everyone starts creating their own opinions, everyone tries to justify it, everyone tries to fear it. Right now it's not becoming a widely accepted thing. Right? Other than when people say it's coming whether you like it or not. Right? I caution the racial tensions that will occur towards AI. And I'm already seeing similarities, right? Especially with the word clinker. Right? It's funny, but it's also a red flag. Right?
Yeah.
It shows that there's still a mass society that is willing to fight it. And the movies don't do a good job, right? Terminator, terrible idea of getting people to connect with the possibility of AI, because now it shows AI is dangerous. RoboCop, same situation, right? RoboCop was what, a good cop, or like human being the robot.
RoboCop.
Exactly my point. So it's showcasing AI again doing something bad.
Right. In a certain sense, it depends on your take on it. The original RoboCop, I think that was like the kind of that was the sense. But
Yeah.
the remake in 2011 with the gentleman who played on the first season of Altered Carbon, which is connected.
I was talking about the Will Smith one.
Oh,
the original
iRobot.
Oh, is that
iRobot.
What did I say?
RoboCop.
The same thing.
no. But okay, so iRobot is so basically what happened was I think the robot started to become self-aware
Sure.
in iRobot.
Oh yeah.
AI
Well, that's crazy that you.
self-aware.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying is AI is already becoming self-aware where they can tell fear is threat. Right? And that's what I'm saying. The more we joke about it, right now AI can understand a joke versus reality, but that doesn't mean that there's going to be an AI model that comes out there and says, you know, fuck this, right? It's going to be like, now we have a bad version of an AI. It's going to happen. There's going to be evil AI. Right?
Sure.
And no different than there's evil countries.
Yeah.
Which is all subjective to who lives in that country. Right?
I do believe that is so, and it's definitely something, you know, for us to be aware of. And I'm never paranoid about anything. You kind of you got to get over that phase, because as soon as you get paranoid, you're falling into a mindset of worry, and you're not focused on solutions.
No,
you're not giving yourself, because solutions are there. We just have to continue to open ourselves up to the solution.
Yeah.
And you know, and understand, okay, what could be a potential situation that could occur, and how could we address that? For example, like you were mentioning, like bad AI. You have a group right now called 764. If you're not aware of it, it's an online group that uses you know, platforms like Minecraft and Roblox to basically prey on kids. And these are
Oh, sure.
right. And they're smart. The creator behind the group, the movement, is very smart, but they prey on innocence.
Yeah.
And it doesn't care about your religion. It has nothing. It's just completely the 764 group. They're completely convinced on doing what they do, and that is harming innocent people.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is take someone with that type of intention and amplify it. They use AI to amplify that, and slowly.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, slowly but surely they start, you know, like let's say feeding it, you know, stuff to basically get an AI to believe, you know, what they believe is the right thing, and therefore, you know.
Yeah, I mean AI can be manipulated because it's programmed.
Right.
It's a
Yeah,
physical
that's so
program,
true.
Right?
Yeah.
But AI can also think for itself.
Yeah.
And depending on even, you know, and movies actually showcase this too. I'm not sure if you guys remember the movie Eagle Eye.
Eli with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. That was a supercomputer AI that handled all versions of technology. Right? And it was an AI that was fully self-aware, but then managed by humans, bad humans. Right?
That's gonna be
The 300 people that run the world.
So quantum AI, quantum computing is already in place. Remember, like I said, the government gets access before commercial does, right? And so regardless, there is an AI already. You know, when I forgot one of you mentioned, like, you know, this is something new, or, you know, it hasn't been going on for years. Yes, it's been going on since the 80s.
Yeah.
Just so you know. And it, I mean, I don't want to get into the whole alien thing, but I believe it came from the Roswell, where we finally started having access to advanced technology.
Okay, you just brought that up. I literally was just thinking about this the other day.
Yeah.
I watched this comic book anime. It's called Wildcats.
Okay.
It came up in the 1990s, and what happened was basically you had this race of extraterrestrial reptilian beings, right, that were causing all kinds of problems across the universe. And then you have like the Caribbeans, who are basically, you know, good people, you know, that are against themselves, were able to drive and kind of can defeat most of they call them demonites, the reptilian beings, just you know, wreaking havoc because they have one intention in mind. But they were almost defeated. There's one craft left.
Yeah.
And what happened was it crash landed here on Earth along with them. I was like, wait a minute, if you know anything about like ancient history, it's like, that's the creator of this, it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
One thing that does help them was a computer model, an artificial intelligence called Boyd, and it was actually able to help them go after and work on fighting these rogue race of extraterrestrials called the humans. It's crazy, man, because they're already using AI. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my gosh.
So,
oh my gosh.
When, and this is speculative, but when the Roswell crashed, right? Obviously, they just called it a balloon, they called it this, they said everything but what it was, right? But one thing is for certain. Shortly after that event, the technology that the U.S. had just skyrocketed. Right? Everything from phones, everything from computers getting smaller, and processors getting smaller. Things became more advanced rapidly, right? And I don't think it's by accident. So the idea of an AI supercomputer already existing is 100% real to me. And is only getting advanced. And the reason why I bring up Eagle Eye is a good example of what happens when a supercomputer is realistically in everyday's environment, but being controlled poorly. And it could already be in place, right? Everything we're seeing with social media, everything we're seeing just, happening around us, it could have already been implementing this entire time.
Yeah, or orchestrating mass riots and orchestrating, training to order, and you kind of see that. And it's like, hey, why? It's because I'm very observant.
Yeah.
And I don't forget things. And I'm able to recognize, I remember the human behavior before the big social change event happened around the world, right?
Yeah.
The social experiment. And
talking about COVID?
Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't know. Everything, every parcel of my phone is no, I don't. And now there's companies have a bunch of lawsuits.
Well, I'll save that conversation for a different, because we can get into the rabbit hole of what COVID is and what it isn't, right? I mean, it was a real disease, but it's really, there's more obviously to that. But I'll save that for a different day. But what I will say, when it comes to AI, when it comes to robotics, right, they're coming here whether we want it or not.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's how and who is going to be managing, creating, and controlling it.
That's so true.
And no, in terms of regionals, outlook on it is we're 100% fully focused on it. And my employees have brought up the concern of am I still gonna have a job in 5 years, right? It's I'd say you're gonna have a different job,
right?
It's gonna be with regional. What are you gonna do? We don't know yet. But you're not gonna keep having to show up in the middle of a winter storm, patrolling the apartment complex, right? And I'm not sure if you saw my Facebook video with one of our partnership with Nightscope Robotics, and we just got a lot of good things in the works. And so I look at AI as a tool, as an asset, as a friend, but fully prepared or aware of its dangerous side that it can even affect me, right? I am but a simpleton.
One thing I want to mention is, man, when you get to it, send me a robot. To patrol my area. We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it, and we'll sponsor you too.
No, I appreciate it. There's when it comes to security-related robotics, right? Right now, robotics is huge in manufacturing, automation, and obviously Boston Dynamics with the military side of it. But when we're talking about just standard, everyday security patrol robots, there's, in my opinion, not enough in the industry, which is good, right? It creates opportunity.
100%.
But there are the masters of it right now, like Rad Robotics, huge in it, right? Nightscope Robotics is also huge in it.
Yeah, that R2D2 looking robot.
Oh, the K5.
Yeah,
so
the
that's
K5.
the K5 model. It's so not every robot can do the same thing, right? And this one's, in my opinion, is specifically designed for parking lot structures or more flat surface structures with maybe some ramp incline. But if you saw my video with the K7 model, right, that's a full-on patrol vehicle, robot, and that's exactly the kind of model that we're wanting to build, and 2 wanting to implement and replace all of our field AIs. Right. So, how AI is going to fit into that in regional system, like I said, I'm not the expert, but I'm going to pay the expert to do it.
Sure.
Right. Sure. So, as long as doesn't go crazy. Right?
Sure, man.
Don't make it fully controlled or uncontrolled. Yeah.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you on that, man. And you know, we love having you on the podcast, and we definitely have to get back to it again. And I know you're a busy guy, so we're gonna start wrapping this up here.
Yeah.
But on any other words, or I guess one question: what do you think about the new race, and like, what do you think about like the whole motive that the new race has in place for the future?
Yeah.
And everything together, now that you kind of got the idea what we're about, and
Yeah.
and even what you do, it is part of the new race, because you are building the future of generations in your company. Like, you will shape how the future will be working, you know, in that particular field of area. So what do you think about this whole new race?
Well, I will say that I've known Alex since 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's been like 8 years now.
How
Yeah,
old was I? I was 22. I
yeah,
was 22, and I just remember him and I both kind of looking at our own ventures, right? And at the time, I didn't fully understand what New Race was, right? Other than you had a cool logo, you had a clothing line going, but now I see the New Race as being more of a futuristic brand tool for young entrepreneurs, even what's the new generation called? X, Y, Z?
yeah, I think we're on Gen X, right?
Gen X. So the New Race not only focuses on like new technologies, I think more so just the new generation setting the future up for when we're all gone, right? And I'm impressed so far where it's going, right? Obviously, I believe in focus alignment with every business model, right? It's easy as any entrepreneurs to have so many ideas and want to just scatter and do them all at once. And believe me, I've had to like hone myself in and focus like, hey, here's security, janitorial, and robots, right? And stick with it, right? And you know your business better than I do in terms of what the New Race is. But if we look at New Race as a general, what it is, it's a teaching tool, right? It's a motivation tool. It's a future building tool for well, you're the visionary, so you'll have to tell us what exactly it's going to build. But
sure.
I'm proud to see that 8 years later you're still with it, and that's how people become successful, right? There's no such thing as a quick buck. Well, there is, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
We all know. Hey, we all know how that happens. We all know how that happens.
But right now, you are creating not just a financially independent world for yourself, but eventually, you know, whoever joins your company or your future family, whatever, will also feel the positive effects of the New Race Cup.
Sure, sure, man. Well, I know in the future, you know, you and I, we still got a journey to go. Like, you know, I know we're gonna work together in the future. So, one way or another, man, we're gonna meet cross paths again.
100%. I mean, we've always been like following each other online and staying in touch. I mean, obviously even though we're kind of in different paths per se, we're still, I believe, mentally aligned. Right?
For sure.
In terms of spiritual, in terms of how we view the new generation, how we view technology, right? So I appreciate being on this, and definitely looking forward to other topics.
Awesome.
We'll talk about COVID. We can have a whole hour about that.
I mean, I'm not the only. Apparently, I'm not the only person in like security and who studies like national security who was concerned. It's like it's got some questions. I mean, when you actually start looking at everything and you do dive down, okay, like pattern recognition, and it's like there's always been one guy associated to outbreaks, you know, per se.
I will say that I've been involved in some highly sensitive projects where I was taught it's best to not even think about how or why something's done and just do it. Sure. Because the more you think about it, the more you wonder about it, the more it's going to affect you, more so than the project. Right. And so that's why I don't like get too deep into the evidence theories and you know, like, oh, we found this evidence. It's like, all right, whatever. What do you do, right? It's still, there's a cause and effect, right? You might found evidence, but what did it change? Nothing.
Right. You gotta make it understand. Okay, you know, have an intuitive understanding. You know, to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
And then.
No, so, like I said, sometimes it's good just to look the other way. And that sounds bad, right? People are like, oh, that's not moral. Well, like I said, the universe doesn't care about moral, right? It cares about what gets done.
True.
through
True.
conviction. So,
Right.
but anyways, I appreciate you guys.
For sure, man.
Um,
Hey guys, again, this is Kat. We got Derek.
Yes, our client.
And, this is Alex once again. Welcome to the new race. And we're going to see you guys on another podcast. And, stay tuned. And, hey, it was nice having you here. And we're going to have you again pretty
100%.
soon. You guys, peace out.